Hello, hello, and welcome to Love and Lunch. We're back after a delicious 2-week holiday. It doesn't seem like much,
Loves
maybe. Like, why do you need a
it.
holiday from a 20-minute weekly Facebook Live? Well, we'll talk about that in a second. So I'm Joanna Keeble. We've got 20 minutes today to talk to you on love, life, and intimacy. And today we're talking about going feel over formula and really following your flow and what that's like and why we love it. I am founder and coach at bigbeautifulboundaries.com. You can check me out there to find out about my online course for happier, healthier relationships, personal and professional relationships, bigbeautifulboundaries.com. And here is Jo Cooper.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so beautiful to be back. I am Jo Cooper, dating, sex and relationship coach, and I help women to find their truth in their desires and their sexuality and how to really empower them from that place.
Gorgeous. So yeah, we've talked a little bit about feel over formula in the past, which is, I love that phrase. I find it so useful to describe, because I was brought up with formula. I was brought up with routine and structure and do what you said you were going to do. And I'm saying it with that energy because that's kind of the energy with which I learned to police myself. And it was just like, stick to the plan, Joanna, just deliver on what you said you were going to do. And there's a way, like I was saying this morning, there's a way that society champions that. We love it when people stick to what they said they were going to do. That's integrity, right? That consistency. We love that consistency. And there's a place for it, definitely. But there's also a place that then we don't give enough attention to what actually feels right now.
Definitely. You know what? The first thing came up for me in my, I don't know, I guess since I've been coaching, I actually cancelled a call and I was just like, oh my God, can I do this? I just had like this most amazing, like, gorgeous coaching session. It was like an hour and a half. It was like, yeah, I'm doing a course with this woman on like womb alchemy, and it was like with this womb healing, and we're really going into like some beautiful visualization into the womb space. And I just was just like, I felt absolutely knackered, and I'm not too sure exactly what had happened, but there was so much deep healing that spiritually I just was like, fuck, I just need to rest. Like, I really just need to rest. And if I try and do anything else right now, it's totally out of integrity to my own energy alignment, right?
Right.
And I was just like,
that integrity,
not the other integrity, the headspace integrity, but the actual like energetic alignment. And I was just like, oh my God, can I really just cancel everything out of my diary right now? Can I give myself permission to just honor my own energy space? And I had to recognize and see the whole like scarcity, the scarcity and the fear piece around it. I was just like, had to quickly feel to know that actually this is everything I teach around feeling and
right?
embodiment and truth. And I think once I kind of popped the fear and had faith and trusted the actual thing, it then felt right. I was just like, yeah, of course this is the thing. I'm just going to be really transparent, really honest, and just say exactly what I needed. And it was beautiful. I gave myself an hour's sleep. It felt really beautiful. And then I decided to go for a long walk around the lake. And it was like, and I just felt the integration of the healing work that I had and honoring what my body needed. There was like, I just felt like this expansion that, if I'd still did these things that are in my diary that was like do, it's like, would I have still been able to expand and receive what was available to me, or would I have not really penetrated and had the healing that was given to me, because I was almost like contracting by like these doing things. And there was something about really fully receiving myself and the integrity part to that was for me, you know, really in alignment to where my yeah, just really in alignment to like where my energy, you know, was at. And it was just like yeah, and I you know, and I think still working as a coach, like I can still have to like be in this frame of mind, like you said, like what is integrity? Like, yeah, I show up for my clients, and you know, fortunately I was able to move this person. So yeah, so it was, yeah, very interesting experience.
I mean, I love what you're saying, because like, what is showing up for our clients? And if it means showing up when you're not in integrity with what you're teaching, right? Or when showing up, even for someone who's not coaching, right? Showing up at work when you're not in integrity with yourself, you're not taking care of yourself, which I understand. I've done many, many times. We often feel a huge pressure to do that, but we can't actually bring our best there. But it's even more obvious and unavoidable when you're teaching like desire-based living and like self-care and nourishment and the deep work of actually listening to ourselves like we are, to actually show up from there. And I've had it as well. I had a session with the client that I moved earlier this year, end of last year. And she's a coach too. And it was just beautiful that I got to say to her, it's really important that I honor myself here. So, you know, I'm really grateful that we can move this. And for her to say, thank you for teaching me that you can do that, that you can actually take care of yourself in that spot. And so there is that other piece, which is we're teaching each other all the time by our behavior. We talk about sort of be the change you want to see. Like, I'm all for rallying for change, right? And for driving for systemic change and for calling each other up. But there is the fact that, hang on, how are you showing up every day? And what impact is that having on people around you? Because you better believe it's having an impact. Yeah. And so, and that piece about, like, I find it really funny because I'm saying, like, we're back after a 2-week holiday from this 20-minute thing we do. 20-minute thing we do each week. And then there's that piece of me, it's like, really? Do you really need a holiday from a 20-minute commitment? And then I sort of feel another question come up, which is, when do we decide that our desire is not valid? Another way of saying that is, when do we decide that our consent is not valid? Because don't be silly. It can't be that important. Just do it. Interesting. And there's a word, when we were talking about this morning, so I've written down 2 words, honor and integrity, because those are 2 words that come up around sticking to the plan, like seeing things through. Like, one of the things I love to do is have a look at positive memes, like encouraging memes on the internet. And I look for ones that I can agree with. And I find endless examples that are like, oh, that's accidentally really problematic. And there's loads and loads of stuff that says never give up, and, you know, don't quit, or we can make it through, we can be successful as long as we don't tire. It's like, Jesus Christ, I'm tired. You know, is it not okay to get tired? Is it? I think it's a really bad idea to commit to never giving up on a plan or a goal. Reason being, something else I've written down here, structure is to serve purpose, right? It's for something. It's really to serve us. We can use structures to get where we need to go. Why? Because that's where we need to go. And if it's not working for us, and if it's harming us in the process, it's sort of like, okay, where are we unwilling to be flexible or where have we overcommitted to a structure when actually the place we want to get to is a feeling place, and we don't get to get there if it doesn't feel good.
Beautiful. It really brings me into the piece around the swimming when you said committing to structure.
Cool.
And I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, those memes are quite, I mean, I just need to have a bit of a laugh.
All right.
I think, I don't know, I mean, they can be quite like, yeah, I mean, they can be quite punchy anyway, that's a different story, but I think, what was I going to say now? Oh yeah, the swimming piece around the structure. So I went swimming yesterday, so glad, you know, that the pool is back open. It really, in Aries season, I'm an Aries, it's my birthday on Sunday.
Oh,
I'm just
shit.
going to shout. So any loves, any rocks, any crystals, you know, I'm here to receive, baby. But yeah, let me get back to the point. So like swimming, oh my god, I just find it so calming, and it really helps me to like think and surrender, and really just like, I don't know, there seems to be like a lot of balance that happens for me around water, like a lot of balance. And you know, first day back in the pool, there's like a lot of people in there, and I was just like, okay, you can be with this. Like normally I'd be like pissed off, like why are there so many people in the pool? This is my pool, blah blah blah, all of these kind of thoughts, right? Of course it's not at all, but I go into this kind of like brain because I think, you know, I'm here, everyone should clear space, and
I'm here.
just so what the fuck, because, you know, I have this thing, but like everyone's a slow swimmer. I'm quite quick at swimming, and patience and swimming and space is something, you know, I'm really starting to learn to really calibrate around patience and being able to work with people instead of like working against. And it's a practice. This is a practice of mine. And so I got in the pool. There were like 2 lanes in this kind of like funny shaped pool, and there was the fast lane, and then there was a kind of like slow lane, I guess, but there wasn't actually a thing there that said slow lane. So I was in the fast bit, and we were going around, and I was just like, there's so many people in the fast one, and we were going quite slowly. And I was just like, yeah, but I need to stick in the fast lane because it says that this is the fast lane bit. And then there was the other bit that wasn't the slow bit, but there was quite a lot of slow swimmers, and there were less people in there. And I could see this huge gap. I thought, yeah, I could perfectly go in there, have a few lengths and see what happens. And I just thought to myself, like, I can actually surrender to the form of this. Like, and this comes into like the feel over formula, like, you know, the form here is for me to stick in this place of like, you know, like the fast lane, because like I'm a fast swimmer, blah blah blah, even though everyone's going slow. And I could get grumpy and stay in this place because I'm putting myself in this space when actually it's not really an alignment. I'm not really getting anything from it. And I thought, Jo, I have choice. Like feel into your body. What is it that you need right now? Oh, I need space. Amazing. Over there is some space. Go and give yourself the thing that you need, and let go of the attachment to the form in which this thing is presented in.
And the
And
form
then,
which you thought it had to show up in. Guys, you're like, the
exactly.
space should be here.
And then it was over there, and I was just like, amazing. Let's go over there, party on. So I went over there, and just like the lightness and I just felt so smooth, like my heart felt open. I was receiving, I was smiling at people as I was swimming over. And I was just like, you know, and I just thought, like, what a beautiful kind of theory, I guess, around just like letting go of the attachment of what this form, what I thought it was looking like, and what I had to kind of adhere to, when actually like I've got so much out of just like feeling. And I think
Mm.
for me that just was like, I don't know, it was just, I felt like living, yeah, living this kind of like feel ever formula thing right here. And it was just so beautiful, so beautiful. And I was just like, yeah, Joe, just apply this to like life more and more. And that's when, you know, I really came home then and moved everything in my diary. And
Mm.
it's just like, if I can have it in the pool, I can have it anywhere. Like, how can you bring this more into your life? Like, what would that really start to look like
Gosh.
in a tangible way? And I was just like, oh, beautiful, beautiful. And it just like, and my whole evening just flowed, and I ended up having the most delicious evening because of this acceptance, because of the flow. And it was just so juicy. I mean, a lot of juicy stuff went on last night, but like it was just like I was in a field of juice. Like, that is what I want to transmit, like the feel of juice. And I was just like, yeah, because I'm not sticking to something that doesn't really work.
I love that we're talking about like structure and flow with water. Water that humans have put into a rectangle and then cut up with lines and put signs on. So much came up when you were talking there. One of the key things for me is how much I have done it the other way in my life. How much of my life I've been addicted to resentment. Like I've really got off on it. Not consciously. Consciously, I just felt really frustrated. Really like wanting things to be different, wanting people to behave differently most of the time. And so I would sort of not use my creativity to have a good time, but stick to the like, no, but it's supposed to be like this. People are supposed to walk there. You're on the wrong side of the escalator. You're going too slowly. You haven't left space for me. And there's a place where for me that comes from trauma of feeling terrified by everybody, feeling scared to take up space, feeling threatened, being bullied, being quite small. I was always quite short and sweet and innocent looking, and I was also a little, I don't know, socially awkward, sort of unaware of what everyone was doing and assumed everybody knew more than me. And so growing up and learning to take up space for me came with quite a lot of aggression of like, this is my space. And like that, when you talked about that in the pool of like, I'm here, you should make space. I think sometimes we have that if there's if it was difficult for us to take up space, or if we didn't always own the space that we now want to occupy, there's a bit of like a history for me of elbowing my way in to take that space.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
really
so
valid point you say that. Really valid point. Because I think for me, I think whenever there's like anger or there's any type of aggression and it doesn't feel flowy, it's because there is a fear. It's a fear that I never was able to take up space, you know, or you know, I had to be this good girl that fit into a tiny little box and like be well behaved and blah blah blah. And it's like really breaking free of that. I can still catch these little things that like want to come out, and I'm like, bring love in, Joe.
Yeah.
And I may even just be smiling more, you know, and just being like, okay, I'm just going to receive myself and be able to receive others here.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it, when you can sort of step away from being right about how other people are maybe not paying enough attention, especially in times of COVID, when it's like someone's walking straight towards me and it's like, you're not even trying to keep your distance. So that has an added like vigilance to it. And so to move from feeling like someone should have got back to you, or someone should have stopped doing that, or someone should not be that close to you, or someone's in the wrong lane, to then actually come back to, right, what do I want? Like, what's the reason that I went swimming? Was it because I wanted to swim fast, or why did I want to swim fast? What was that going to give me? And then get back to that higher intention that you had, which was like to feel that flow and to feel that freedom and that ease. Yeah.
Mhm.
And the other thing I've written down is taking responsibility, because that's what it was for me. Most of my life is where I like to focus on other people and be like, oh, they're not doing it properly, as a way to avoid actually surrendering to, okay, well, that's reality, that's happening. And like,
Mhm.
can I ping a little bit of compassion their way, let them off, which also means letting me off, by the way, letting us all be imperfect and human and wherever we are right now, and then take responsibility for my happiness. Can I step off that project of judging them long enough to put that attention onto what I want and what's actually going to make me feel better, rather than just
Mhm.
banging that drum of what's not working or what they've done wrong.
Beautiful. I love that. We've just come to the end.
Yeah, so as I feel like we should wrap it up by saying that's what it was about, really, having 2 weeks off. It really is about being willing to feel in and
Mm,
say, this doesn't feel good today, and trust that.
totally. Having so
Yeah,
much permission,
yeah,
a lot of permission.
yeah. Bringing permission to others.
I
So do you
love
want
that
to wrap us
people are
up,
watching.
Jo?
I do. I love that people are watching. I'm spying on you. I'm really playful today. Yeah, thank you so much. Sending so much love to you all. I love that you've come to join us for today. And yeah, if anything resonates, maybe you struggle or find it challenging to feel when there's so much structure and you're like, oh my God, how do I do that? Me and Joanna are here. Reach out in DMs. You can always leave us some comments underneath. I know there's a few of you watching today, which is beautiful and totally feels amazing. And yeah, we're here to answer any questions, and just to let you know that we'll be posting our Facebook groups, our private Facebook groups, into the comments. I have got a masterclass coming up on Thursday that's called Devoted to Her. And yeah, I don't want to say too much about it really, because I think it's more your interpretation, but it's more going to be transmission based of the kind of spiritual and sexual practices and how that kind of looks like in relationship to me and spirit. So yeah, it doesn't need too many words. It's a transmission. If you feel called to come. I'm just going to leave it like that. And yeah, really excited to see if you decide to come to that Thursday at 7 o'clock. And then I'll hand you over to Joanna before we wrap up.
Yeah, so you can find out more about my online boundaries course for happy and healthy, satisfying relationships at all levels in all areas of your life. Sounds quite a lot, doesn't it? But it's an awesome course. It's getting really good feedback. You can find out about that at bigbeautifulboundaries.com. You can also pop in and have a look into my private, well, it's not private, there's a new word now, but safely held
Secure.
Facebook group. I can't remember what you call it. Is it private? Maybe it's private.
I think it's private.
Yeah, so basically I'm holding a small group of people because I want to keep the quality of the conversation high. I want to keep it feeling like a safe place for people to actually share, so we can touch on some topics that maybe you wouldn't let loose on in your average Facebook comments thread, because all hell would break loose. All right, so I'll drop the link below to my group, Big Beautiful Boundary Builders.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It is Tuesday today, so have a beautiful rest of the day. We hope to see you very soon. And yeah, thank you so much for joining live. And if you're #replay, then yeah, feel free to still participate in the in the party with us. So yeah, lots of love. Bye.